All right, everybody. Welcome to SparkNotes.com. SparkNotes.com is an incredibly useful resource for pretty much all your ELA needs in high school and also some of them in college. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of teachers, and especially a lot of college professors, get really angry at SparkNotes because sometimes it can oversimplify, and it can, but the truth is, sometimes you will find SparkNotes to be incredibly useful and valuable to you. And for our class, for our purposes, you are going to especially find the section of the website called No Fear Shakespeare useful. I have complicated feelings about No Fear Shakespeare because I don't think you should be afraid of Shakespeare in the first place. But there's no denying that this website is actually filled with things that are very helpful to young students, especially young students who are encountering Shakespeare for the first time. So when you go to No Fear Shakespeare, you can select the plays, and right now I'm on Romeo and Juliet's page, and this is what I'm going to want you to use as a reference point kind of throughout our study of Romeo and Juliet. So first of all, when you're just on the study guide page, you'll see a tremendous amount of very useful resources. There's an overall plot, there's a video plot summary, important questions and answers, what does the ending mean, summaries and analysis of all of the major scenes of the play, analysis of the main characters, some main ideas about the play, important quotes. We don't need to go too deep into that though. The main thing that I'm going to want you to use No Fear Shakespeare for is a couple of different things. One, if you're a visual learner and you know you do better with looking at images, they have a graphic novel of the entire play, including a graphic breakdown of the characters, but every single act and scene of the play in graphic novel form. If you are a visual person, if you love having images to go along with your text, this is incredibly useful. It's not all of the lines because it's a graphic novel format. They can't possibly fit all of the text on the page, and it's the modern language adaptation. So there are limitations to it. It's not perfect, but again, it's a useful tool. The most useful tool of all, though, is the No Fear translation. Now, I don't like the word translation. I don't, because it's not like Shakespeare's language is English. So translation implies that it isn't. So that's not really correct. I would be more accurate to call that an adaptation, adapting Shakespeare's 400-year-old words to our more contemporary language. So if we look at the very first thing in the play, the prologue, you will see a side-by-side comparison. Here's Shakespeare's original language, here's the modern adaptation. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. In the beautiful city of Verona, where our story takes place, a long-standing hatred between two families erupts in new violence. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. That's the hatred between two families erupts into violence. Citizens stain their hands with the blood of their fellow citizens. A pair of star-crossed lovers, two unlucky children of these enemies, become lovers and commit suicide. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. Their unfortunate deaths put an end to their parents' feud. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. For the next 2 hours we will watch the story of their doomed love and their parents' anger, which nothing but the children's deaths could stop. The which with you, if with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. If you listen to us patiently, we'll make up for everything we've left out in this prologue on stage. This is incredibly useful, this tool, especially as you're learning how to pick Shakespeare's language apart. And we are going to talk about how to do that in class, but I want you to know that this website is here and that you should use it when you need to. All right.